Hey, yo, this is a new episode of the All Time Podcast. Listen to these guys, they're awesome.
An evening with a special guest. You don't see the familiar faces as you usually see when you press play on these episodes. I was thinking to myself the other day, I was like, who's my favorite luchador? Is it La Parca? Is it Rey Mysterio? Like, I was trying to figure it out. Is it Dom Mysterio when he has the mask on? Because he claims that he's the greatest luchador of all time. He's the greatest Mysterio of all time. And then I thought about a friend of mine, somebody who I speak to on a weekly basis. And I said, let's get him on the pod to talk, because it's been a minute that we've spoken about music. We speak about wrestling. He sends me albums. We have good conversation, but I want to really dig deep into this man. And, he wears a mask, and he's my favorite luchador. And he's the Vince Russo. You said it. I want you to finish that line for me. I'm the Vince Russo. The Puerto Rican Vince Russo. The Puerto Rican Vince Russo is on the episode tonight. My favorite luchador action figure.
Hey.
You know what's funny? I didn't know it was a white T-shirt event.
Yeah, that's really funny. Yeah. Usually I'd like to throw some type of color on, man, but it was a nice day out today, man. So, what I mean? We had nice 70-degree weather, so I feel like that called for a white tee.
Usually in my intros, I like to give flowers, but I think it's different with you, man, because we speak on a regular basis. We have a good relationship, wrestling relationship, music relationship. Oh, yeah. You're somebody that I respect a lot.
Thank you, man. Likewise, bro.
Somebody who trusts me with, when you put out a project, you always send that to me just so we can go over it together. But dude, last year, 2025 for you was Austin 1998, 1999. and we're being honest, right? Yeah. I'm being honest. This is me. I don't care what anybody else says. This is Steven all time and what he has to say. Last year you had a Triple H 2002. You really came into the game and you put people in the crippler crossface and you did not let go. Yeah. I'm looking at these projects and I'm like, how is it normal for a human being to put out this much consistent projects, whether it's an EP, whether it's an album? Because you had 2 full lengths last year. You had Doom Was Right and the Most Interesting Man in the World with Machacha.
Right.
And you had your EP.
Oh, I mean the Christmas ones. The Christmas one, it was like 10 on there.
Yeah. Yeah. And you literally put out that album on the 23rd
right.
December. Like, if you're not a luchador, you're Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Right. So, and then I look at the projects, and then I look at Supreme Machines that you came out with earlier. We'll get to it. And then, what would Harley Race do? And I'm just like, how is it normal for somebody to literally put out this much consistent bodies of work, man, and still be relevant, still be interesting? I'm listening to What Would Harley Race Do, and I've had this album for a long time, and I'm still discovering things you say on here that are interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that was that one took the longest, to be honest, man. I was still working on that. I was still working on that up until right before Supreme Machines, man. You know what I mean? Like I was really shout outs to RP my engineer Ward, man.
And I want to get to him after this, because I think it's super important, and this is where I'm trying to mesh everything together.
Right.
The sound.
I just think the direction, man. He was big on he was like, yo, like he was like, this next one has to have some hooks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was a big thing of his. He was like, yo, like he's like, I want the next one to have hooks. I want it to, you know what I mean? Yeah, he wanted more hooks and he wanted more like he's like, yo, bro, he's like, I think you proved what he said to me was he's like, yo, I think you proved already that like, yo, you're the nicest. You're ready. Everybody knows you can bar out. He was like, yo, he's like, now I think it's time you give them something to bop to other than just the bars. Give a little bit more of yourself a little bit. And you know what I'm saying? He was right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to bring up just the albums and
Hmm.
he his involvement in all your projects, his involvement in the engineering and the sound and everything that goes into it. He plays an important role. And I just want to say on behalf of me, condolences to his friends, to his family, to you. It's look, I said this before we got on. Every time we get on, I feel like we lose somebody when we do. We lost Sabu last time we did it, and now war ready. And like I've seen the pictures of you and him, and he makes a piece of the album that is so important,
Right.
and it breaks my heart when people pass
Yeah.
away. And I know how important he was to you and his
Yeah.
involvement with
I
with
think I think
everything.
what kind of just sucks the most, man, is that yo, like he passed away like the day before this was supposed to come out. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah,
was just like was so fucking bittersweet, bro. Like I was just like thrown off by it, like it was so sudden and just fucking out of nowhere, like an RKO, bro. And I hate to a cliche and corny fucking reference, but it's the fucking truth. I feel like to be honest, like right now, nigga, I feel like Cody's eye right now.
yeah,
Like, yeah, like I feel like Cody's eye right now. You know what I mean? And I was telling before I was on the phone before and shit. I said I was talking to my guy Lito, man. And I told him I was like, "Yo, I'm about to do this interview real quick." I was like, "I'm doing this interview," but I was like, "If it wasn't Steven all the time, I would have canceled the shit." You know what I
yeah.
mean?
But
But
I appreciate that, man.
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
and I'm sorry that you're grieving, and I'm sorry that you're going
Mhm.
through things, man. But you know what?
Yeah,
Like somebody who appreciates music like myself,
yeah,
I understand his involvement, and you have
right,
a team behind you.
right, right, right,
It's you, it's War Ready, it's Craig Dyer, you got Wolverine, you got all these guys behind you.
right.
It's a team, man. And when you lose somebody from that team,
Yeah,
like we could be cliche and say, like in wrestling, when you lose that piece,
yeah,
the
yeah.
Ministry of Darkness,
Hmm.
the corporation, it takes away so much.
Right,
But
right.
I think that you are going to be doing your next albums, including this album, justice, and you're gonna do it for him.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I
I'll say this, like this, um, I feel like this album has been like the most reviewed. It was always funny, man, because after last year when you put out the most interesting man in the world, like the ratings, and you guys gave me the 8.5, the 8, and Wario was like, yo, he's like, your albums always get between a 7.5 and an 8.5. He's like, yo, what do we got to do to get the 9 and 10? You know what I'm saying? Like he's like, what do we got to do to get the 9s and 10s? And then this drops, and all I've been getting is 9 and 10s,
yeah,
9 out of 10s, 10 out of 10s, 4 out of 5s. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Uh, it's the most reviewed. It's been reviewed by random shit, like people. It's like, yo, the numbers is there. It's over 15K streams right now. And to be honest, I've been grieving the whole time, so I haven't really done anything. I haven't really said much about it. You know what I mean? So it's just been kind of just doing its own thing on its own.
yeah.
So
But again, the music speaks for itself. the
right,
the value of the project speaks for itself.
right, right.
So you and the team, and him not being here, just
Mhm.
you're making him proud by what this
Yeah.
album is, right? And the 9s and 10s. And you know what? I didn't want to review it. I'm going to be honest with you. I've
Mhm.
sat with this album so long that I'm like, I don't want to review it. I want to talk to the man himself about this record,
Right, right.
because
Oh yeah.
as much as I love Doom Was Right, and that that's kind of your that's your like I won the Royal Rumble type
Hmm.
album.
Oh yeah,
And then
that's my Austin 316. I agree.
right? And then the
Yeah,
most interesting man in the world was like, hold on a second, he could do this
right.
also, right?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That's like Power Trip
yeah.
Austin and Triple H, like having the
Hmm.
belts, right?
Yeah,
And now, what would Harley Race do to me is like, I can stand on my own.
yeah.
Like, like I could stand on my own. I've
Hmm.
won the championship numerous times, and I could hold them.
Right, right, right,
You know what I mean? So
right.
I think this is an important project for you. And shouts out to Artificer because like he gave you production on here that makes you stand out more than you've stood out before.
Right, right.
Um,
That was something that Dyer told me, man. Something that he told me that made me think. He was like, "Yo, he was like most people that are like that got your status. He's like they go to they start doing the albums with the bigger guns. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, yo, you've been giving people classics with no offense to nobody, like I don't want to say no names, but guys that are still coming up, that are still getting their feet wet in the game. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, you've been doing classics with people that are unknown. And he's like, but that makes it dope because now people are starting to get to know these people a little bit more. And like, you know what I'm saying? So he's just like, yo, it's crazy how you've done, classic material, classic work with people that, that aren't bigger names, but now they deserve to be bigger names. So
yeah, absolutely. And let's talk Supreme Machines and
mhm.
you and this is my opinion as always. We didn't review that record, but I want to talk about that record real quick because I think it's difficult for an MC, and I don't want to just say coming up, but having to be with two other MCs, being three.
Right.
You stood your own on there. You like whether it's the clarity of your voice, whether it's the hooks, the bars, just being you, you stood
Mhm.
out on there. You
Yeah.
did your thing with two other MCs that are totally different than you,
All right.
and those two MCs being totally different than each other.
Right. Yeah, like I'll say this, like I was intimidated at first, man, because like I used to be like a fan just like everybody else, you know what I'm saying? Like I remember seeing that Hidden Character album with the fucking Mortal Kombat noob Saibot and the vinyl. I remember seeing that vinyl one time and I was like, yo, that's so fucking ill. And I was like, who's that artist on this? And that shit said Hidden Character. And I was like, yo, Noob Saibot was the hidden character. Like, yo, but the fact that it was on a fucking hip hop vinyl, I was like, yo, that's ill. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like, I fucks with Hidden so much, but like, I really doing this shit like made me like him a lot more because like yo, like you hear the exterior, you hear the gun bars and the coke bars and all the crazy shit. And when he sent like one of the songs he sent, this motherfucker said, the shit could get sticky like some s'mores. I was like, yo, like, what does this guy know about s'mores, son? Like, I was laughing and I thought that was the greatest fucking bar. But I was a little intimidated, I'll be honest, because like I was a little intimidated. With Hidden because like I'm like yo like to me he's been out there he's on records with Titans and shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and,
absolutely.
and I fucks with Red, and I know a lot of people have their thing with Red. I've seen the comments, I see it, I hear it all the time, you know what I mean? Do I think it's unfair and unjust though? But I think he's dope. I think he's a little misunderstood, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no,
But I fucks with
absolutely.
him heavy though. You know what I
but
mean? Yeah.
but you guys did your thing. Everybody has a
Right,
different
right,
flow. Everybody has a different
right,
tone of voice. Everybody has a different cadence.
right,
Everybody has a different image on there, right? But
right, right, right,
1,000 words, and I respect 1,000 words so much. The enjoyment and the happiness that I had that he picked you to be one of the masked MCs that
Yeah,
says a lot
yeah,
about you. That says a
yeah.
lot about the MCs that he chose for this project, right?
Right.
He believed in you, and I think just the whole project as a whole, whether it's with Craig and just the imagery that he painted,
Right.
just the samples, the producers that
Yeah.
were on there, man, is just like that's great for you, and it's great for all the MCs on there. And 1,000 words, he did an amazing job, and it was a brilliant idea to be, hey, let's do
Yeah.
this.
Let me say this, man. I look at Thousand, like this project made me look at Thousand a million times different. Like I finally like understood like he's not just a photographer, you know what I'm saying? He's not just a guy with that does the Kodak pictures, you know what I'm saying? Like I look at him like this album made me like look at him as like a like ASAP Yams, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I feel like he's our Yams, you know what I'm saying?
I
I 100%
wish I could do something like him. I wish I
yeah,
could
yeah,
think of a project like that to put together
yeah,
and just, revolve
yeah.
these MCs around it with, just
Mm.
man, just it's
Like,
such a
dude, like it was just a bug out, like being in the group chat and they're like, "Yo, here's some Dirty Diggs beats. Here's some tremendous beats. Here's Bone Wesso." Like, I was on my way driving to the studio and out of nowhere he's like, "Yo, Great God sent in a verse." I almost crashed my fucking car, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like,
Mondo
"What?"
Slade.
Yeah. And then the Mondo shit too. And then I was like, yo, what the fuck? You know what
and
I'm saying?
and that song to me was the most like, wait a minute, this sounds totally different than every other song on here. Like, I didn't expect this when you look at the featurings, right? Like, so yeah, like that project to me, like, and just the way the rollout to it, just what you did on there, man, holding your own, being, the champ on there, being the champ on there. You were kind of like, the Seth Rollins
Mhm.
of the Shield on
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Hell yeah.
And there's somebody joining us on here. You might not be able to see it. I see it. And
Oh, what the fuck?
and hold on a second. Let me intro this
Here
real
we
quick.
go.
Let
Hell
me
yeah.
intro this.
Hell
In
yeah.
in hip hop, there's a lot of tag teams. There's the MC with the producer with the MC. But this tag team here is the MC and the painter. The value and the addition that he adds to your projects is
Yo,
like
every
no
time,
other.
bro.
This is a
Every time.
tag team.
Yeah.
And my
Every time.
homie is on here, Craig Dyer. I appreciate you for being
Hell
here.
yeah.
Finally.
No problem. No problem at all.
Yeah,
And
that's
can
it. What we
Pleasure.
did.
wait, you need to say what
Hell
time
yeah.
it is where you are at right now.
Just nearly 2 a.m.
Ah, damn, bro.
So that's my surprise to you. I know it's been
Yeah.
tough
Hell yeah.
the last
Hell yeah.
couple of
Yeah,
weeks,
man.
but
Yeah.
you have one, you gotta have the tag team partner on
Hell yeah.
here. And
Hell yeah. Hell
I'm
yeah.
gonna say this, and we're gonna get into some stuff, but the contribution both of you have done together,
Yeah.
album, the imagery, the paintings, just the cover art. In Look, I'm a guy in hip hop that I don't want to see the rapper's face on it. Just like a picture of the rapper's face. We've had that in the 90s. We had that in the 2000s. But now when we get somebody that can paint it and make it look, extraordinary on a different level, it
Oh
just
yeah.
makes the whole project more enjoyable for you to own. Like, I don't want to just buy a CD with somebody's face on it. Just like, okay, it's cool. We had the 50 cents of the world. We
Right.
had those Mob Deep records, and they're all classics. But looking at something and being like, wow, this is beautiful. Just look at Supreme Machines. Like, what can you intake from that? Right? And be like, what the fuck am I going to get myself into?
Yeah.
And Craig, you take a lot of those props from there, man, and just how you put everything together. And I'm always interested in what you are doing, because that's what makes me gravitate to the album. Yes, it's action figure, you know what I mean? But what's coming with that product? It's coming with that painting. It's coming with that image that makes it extra special. You know what I mean? So I want to
Yeah,
give you props and flowers on what you do.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm only as good as the ideas as well, because like the action figure surfing in gravy, I'm only as good as the ideas.
He's giving you props, but hey, you're painting that shit.
Yeah.
I don't see act with a fucking paintbrush.
Bro,
yeah,
every time, bro. I always hit him like, yo, he has never shied away from an idea. If anything, he's made the ideas better. And the surfing idea, that was definitely my idea. But him putting the polo on me and other that, oh shit. Him putting the polo and all that, that's him. You know what I'm saying? Like he does, yeah, like I give ideas and sometimes like there'll be flesh of him and then he comes through and I'm always like that. I like when people can add on to the idea and make it better. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah,
always for somebody making it better. Yeah, man.
absolutely. And I want to
That just
get
gets me. Yeah.
I want to get into your mind, Craig, real quick, before
yeah.
we get into Supreme Machines and how you put that image together. Yes, act gives you an idea, but what goes through your brain, like putting it together, right? Because like, hey, somebody could tell me I want this and this, but to actually be able to put it together and to look that good, color wise, like all that together, like how does your brain work? I'm as cliche as saying it like that. How does your brain work for it to get on canvas the way it does?
I see the image. It's weird. I see it already. So as soon as like I start talking to action or whatever else, as soon as I've got the basics of the idea, I start seeing it in my head already.
Okay.
So it's like I've already figured it out. I just need to put it onto paper or onto the canvas. So it's like it's already there. As soon as I'm talking about it, it's there straight away. I just see it straight away, and then I've just got to put it into practice, basically. And normally it turns out even better than what I'm seeing in my head. That's always as well.
It's crazy because I wish I had a brain like that. Because you asked me to draw something, it's fucking just like and I think it's super important. And Supreme Machines and that image, having 1,000 words on there and having those three artists on there, I just thought it was brilliant because the addition of colors, the addition of background, just the way 1,000 words looks, it's like he's pointing at his head of thinking about this whole idea. And I know that there's already an image that kind of captivates that for old school wrestling, but the way you put it together was just, like amazing.
Thank you.
And like I said, it just brings that extra addition to when you listen to the album, right? I'm listening to the album and I'm keeping that image in my brain the whole time. Now, did 1,000 words give you that idea?
The when it was starting to come about that this project was happening, Action posted the original image and 1,000 posted the original image on the stories, and then 1,000 hit me up and just said, "Can you kind of put this into practice and use it as all our characters instead?"
Wow.
And I think I did it same day, basically. I think like 1,000 that have come to me that morning. Yeah, it was quite quick, that one. Yeah,
that's crazy. And I'm looking at all the images.
There wasn't even music done when he finished that. Like there wasn't even like nothing was recorded yet or nothing. Like it was just straight. He did the art and then we came in and had to make the music for it.
In one day?
No, he did the cover in one day.
That's crazy. It's genius.
I ended up waking up to it.
Well, yeah, because it's probably what is it, 5 o'clock when we wake up in our time?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, it depends.
But anyways, the both of your additions on that record was amazing. We've spoken about it together in different conversations, but I think you guys made that album go to the next level. So take that and be proud of that work that you guys have put in.
Okay.
Now I want to get to the album that's on your t-shirt. By the way, I couldn't wait to say this. But doesn't Craig look like the white man Johnson? How buffed up he is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He looks like a good hugger. You know what I mean? Like,
Like he kind of reminds me of a nicer Ryback.
right. 100%, 100%.
I just had to say it. So what would Harley Race do? Let's start off with the cover.
Hmm.
Uh, look, the thing that stuck out to me was Harley Race and holding the mask.
Hmm.
What's the rest of the image? Is he removing the mask?
I wanted it to be like that he removed it. Yeah, he's the toughest man, bro. He's the toughest wrestler, bro. He's the reason why I wrote the album about him. And I'm a big Punk guy. I fucks with CM Punk. I think if there was somebody that if I was to compare myself to like a wrestler, I would say CM Punk for sure. I feel like I'm a CM Punk a bit. You know what I'm saying? But he said, "What would Harley Race do?" during the infamous podcast that he did about his WWE departure from like 14 years ago. And it always struck out to me when he said, "What would Harley Race do?" And he said how he would wrestle sick and injured, and then I was like, damn, I thought that was kind of like ill. And then I started doing my research and just finding out like more of the crazy shit he did, and like just more of the just more like how ruthless he was, and just how he was just relentless. And you know what I mean? I found a little bit of myself in that, man, and I just wanted to make an album about him.
Yeah. And
The
Craig, did
image is just him taking the mask off, man. Yeah.
Craig, did you listen to the album before you painted this?
No, I painted it first, and I think I listened to the album about 2 months ago, maybe. So the cover were done like last year.
Yeah, because just
It was done
the
over the summer.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember I was coming off the plane from Punta Cana, and that was the first text that came through once I took the airplane mode off, and it was the cover that he's wearing on his shirt. Yeah.
crazy. Again, it makes everything more interesting. I was trying to figure out the mask thing and him removing the
Mhm.
mask from you, and
Mhm.
it was brilliantly painted. And where do you put Harley Race in a category of top wrestlers or top heels or top baby faces? Do you have him in a category like that, or is he just somebody that you enjoy because of his
Someone I,
attitude?
someone I enjoy. I can't really say like I definitely dived into a little bit of his work. You know what I'm saying? Of course, making it. I was just like, obviously, he had the crazy feuds with Flair, crazy feuds with Dusty, with Bruiser. So I just like hearing just the stories, man. And my favorite one was the Nash one. Was the Nash story and them driving through the hood, and like from there, like hearing just little funny shit like that, like him saying like I'm not staying in the hood. You know what I mean? I just thought like, yo, like I just thought it was an interesting character to rap about. You know what I'm saying? And I realized not many people did. So it was just like I think that's been the one challenging thing about everybody doing the wrestling thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's finding people that haven't been talked about, and finding angles and different shit that nobody's talked about yet, because everybody's done the Hardys to death, the Dudleys to death, Austin, Bret Hart, whatever. It's like, yeah, it's getting a little difficult sometimes to find shit to talk about, man. So gotta dig, man. And Harley Race, like, it's interesting. And then hearing him pull a gun on Hogan, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it just, I don't know, man. That's the type of shit I like. That's the type of stories I like to hear about people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, nobody has ever done an album about Edge, so I'm shooting that over to both of you to do an album about Edge before he retires. Just do it for me. I only need about 7 to 8 songs, and then I'm fine.
Yeah, there's this new cover that Craig showed me today, man. This wrestling cover is so ill, bro. That's coming soon, and it's not
Yeah.
even my album. I'm on it, but it's not my album. I
Yeah,
can't wait for you guys to see that shit. That shit's gonna be incredible.
Craig,
Yeah.
how much of a wrestling fan are you?
I
Or is
don't. Yeah, I used to watch it loads growing up. I don't catch it as much now, but just mainly because I'm always busy. I still catch stuff on Twitter and what have you, but I used to watch it a lot growing up.
So
Until
that's what makes it easier for you to paint these
yeah,
images,
yeah,
these wrestling images. Because
yeah.
when you look at like all the covers, like just the Dark Side of the Ring 2, like I remember when I saw that for the first time, I messaged you both. I was having a heart attack because it looked so incredible.
Yeah,
Like, and then you have like the Ring Psychology and just like all those albums and just having that wrestling inspired theme in the image, you have to kind of be a wrestling fan to a certain
yeah.
extent to be able to get that.
I find it easy to take from things like from when I was growing up and like films, wrestling, computer games, anything like that. It's just so easy to take from and recreate. I find.
If I ask you your top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time right off the bat, where are we going with?
Legion of Doom,
Wow.
Ultimate Warrior,
Wow.
Okay.
Stone Cold Steve Austin,
Oh yeah.
Bret Hitman Hart, and probably in between a few here.
Say them all.
So, probably Hardy Boys. I used to like them. They were good.
So
Yeah.
you grew up in Australia,
No, England.
England, your whole life.
Yeah.
So how would you watch wrestling? What would it come on? What channels?
Yeah, it used to. We've got a channel on. We've got something called Sky. It's a bit like cable, basically.
Yeah.
Um,
I have an illegal box that I shouldn't be saying on here with all the Sky channels.
yeah. And we on a channel called Sky One and Sky Sports. You used to get it on a Saturday and Sunday morning, but it were only like the highlights, so we didn't get it all. We used to get about an hour and a half of it, basically, just clips and best fights and stuff like that.
That's amazing. So being from England, I have to because I'm a huge Oasis fan. They're my favorite band of all time. What bands were you listening to growing up? Were you a fan of Oasis? Were you a fan of the UK music? Like,
I mainly listened to hip hop growing up.
Wow.
And then as I've got older, I've appreciated other music, so I've gone back to Oasis. So in like last 15 years or so, I've gone back and bought nearly all Oasis albums, nearly all Arctic Monkeys albums. But growing up, I was just hip hop.
Wow. And what about Blur?
Average.
Average, huh?
Yeah.
It's
better. It's better with. There's a couple of good tracks, but it's better with Gorillaz, I think.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of Gorillaz. I'm more with Damon Albarn with Blur. I thought Blur was very where they were like Park Life, the album Park Life, and being from England and being it meant a lot more because of what they were talking about in there.
Yeah.
But we could talk about this the whole time. But you were so growing up with hip hop, what were the artists that you were introduced to, or were there artists from the UK that you were listening to before America?
Yeah. No, I got into hip hop music from Street Fighter film soundtrack.
Oh, wow.
So like when I was 11, I loved the film at the time. When you watch it back, it's not that good. But as an 11-year-old, I loved it. And the soundtrack were like Ice Cube, Nas, Farside, LL Cool J. It just opened the door straight away to all them artists. And then I started on West Coast hip hop mainly when I was younger. Like it were like Chronic time and Death Row Records time. And then as I got older, I strayed more to East Coast music.
Wow. And any UK artists?
Yeah, I like a few. Kano, Skepta.
Skepta's crazy.
Yeah. And then there's a few on underground scene that I really like. So have you heard of The Fly Hooligan?
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Well, he were in a group growing up called Triple Darkness. And there were about 9 members, a bit like an English Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh, wow. I'm going to check that out.
They were pretty amazing. So I got into all that scene and like Juggernaut. There's a lot of UK like proper hip hop artists that I like that are kind of doing the same sound what we're hearing in underground now. So there's like a few UK versions like TMO Trips, The Fly Hooligan, Juggernaut, Capo, Vandal Savage. and they do like, and they work with some of the American musicians as well. Juggernaut's worked with quite a few.
Wow. And how did you and Act have a friendship like this? Where did you like? How did that come? Because you guys are on different sides of the world.
Yeah, so I caught him on Scaring the Hose live on the when he were doing a show, and Know It All were live recording it all, and I just thought he blew me away straight away, and I was like, "Who's this?" Someone told me, and we just started talking from there, really.
And look at what you guys have accomplished.
Yeah.
It's
I always
fucking
tell people,
crazy.
I always tell people, bro, fucking Dyer's like my therapist, man. I talk to this guy every day,
Yeah.
man.
No,
I talk to Action more than anybody else. It's every day. It's like there's something there at least.
Yeah.
It's the tag team. Think of it that way. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, here, I'll be honest right now. I'm scared for you to put out an album and he didn't fucking paint it. It's fucking, you're giving me anxiety just thinking about it because again, it's just you guys like, it's awesome. And obviously it's probably going to happen, but it's just awesome of what you guys bring to the table in hip hop. And I'm a fan of both of yours and what you guys have done. And people need to hear this record, and I'm happy you Act that you're putting out full lengths now, right? Last year you did a lot of EPs, and that's fine, but for people to invest in a record like this, I think is important, where you're giving 28 30 minutes, 10 tracks, and the songs are long too. They're not 1 minute songs. You're going in, you're doing 2 verses, you're really telling a story, you're really being you on here. We can invest in you on here, and that I know that that's something that you want to do more of.
Right, for sure. I mean, yeah, man. I mean, there was a lot of things that just like inspired that too. Like even hearing Vegas Ghost Orchid, you know what I mean? And he had the crazy hooks on there, and I remember hearing that before I started writing Most Interesting Man in the World, and I was like, yo, I need to do something like that. And I was just like big on that. Like we were all like me and Dyer talked about that too. We talked a lot about that, and mainly the part of Vega adding hooks and shit. And I was like, yo, like I was like, damn, yo, I was like, I feel like I gotta give a little bit more now. You know what I mean? And we all kind of agreed, and yeah, so if it wasn't for like Ghost Orchid and all that stuff, I was really more like, all right, bet. Like if it wasn't for War, basically, wanting more hooks and him saying like, let's take it in a different direction. And he felt me doing like those actual songs would have, I think, like it shattered like whatever people's preconceived notion of me is. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, it was different. It was a good different, I feel.
Yeah, added value to the
Right,
record.
right, right.
Right, there's a different side of you and who you are, and I think you showcase it on here. Craig, what are your favorite tracks on this?
Red 11s, Hogan, pulling a gun on Hogan, and and driving through the hood, and I really like the Puerto Rican Pyramids as well.
Yeah, and I'm asking you this because when this album came out, again, you sat with it a bit longer than the people that are hearing it for the first time. You called it a classic. You called it.
Yeah.
You said things about it, and I was like, I want to understand that. I want to understand where you're coming from with that, and why this album is this important, and why this album is this good.
I think the hooks are amazing on it. I really, really like the beats on it. I don't skip a track, so I listen every time I listen to the album. I don't like go to my favorite tracks. I listen to it from front to back every single time, and for me, that's when you've got a classic. When you're not skipping tracks, you're not just gravitating towards your favorites. When you're pressing play, leaving it on, you've got something special.
Yeah, and when I listen to it, it's like I don't want to change song.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're listening to a record, you're like, I want to get to the next song. It's one of my songs that I love. On here, you get a constant flow.
Exactly, yeah.
Everything bleeds into one another. It makes sense. The record makes sense. And Doom Was Right was something that like I loved. When that came out, I loved that record. You know that. The most interesting man in the world. I loved. On here, I find you've stepped up your game on here, right? You've put yourself onto a different platform with this record, because how much can you talk about wrestling? Think of it.
Right.
Like, but you put it into a different light, and it makes it interesting.
Right.
It makes it like, fuck, this is what I want to hear. I keep playing this and I'm like, why am I finding something new all the time? Like doing the split, Bianca Belair doing the split on your dick, like that, whatever
Sasha Banks. Yeah.
But yeah, sorry about that. I ruined everything, by the way. Like that, like, and you're getting into the newer generation, right? You're talking about the newer generation, and a lot of people steer away from that.
Right.
So that's why I find it more interesting. I just think you need to continuously watch wrestling.
Yeah, man. I mean, I tried, bro. I tried, man. That WrestleMania 1, man. That night 1 was
horrendous.
I know we ain't talking. Yeah. Bro, like a couple days before that, War had died, so I already knew like it was gonna be depression weekend, and bro, being depressed and then watching shitty wrestling on top of that, it was just like, yo. Night 2 made up for it though. I'm thankful for Night 2.
Night two was
Night 2, yeah, bro. Night 2, I took the noose off. You know what I
mean? Yeah. Night two to me is an 8.5, 9 on 10. When you compare it to horrendous, horrific, shitty Night 1. But the Seth Rollins on Night 1 to me was
there's certain things that were good.
I want to get to Blame Martin and Ty Farris. You knew I was gonna ask you something like that. Let's go. I wanna.
So what? Oh man, because there's a lot of people, man, that just felt like there were certain people that felt like bars in Copenhagen made me. You know what I mean? Like I know there's like I could put a before Copenhagen in bars and then an after Copenhagen in bars. You know what I'm saying? There's people I know who's been there since the beginning, and then I know people who's been there since then. So I feel like blame them because now there's a lot of people that are we're out here doing numbers, we're out here selling vinyl, we're out here selling out drops.
Yeah, but you did that. You that's the props that goes to you. You did that because about the quality of the music.
Right. But I still blame them because they gave me a bigger platform.
Absolutely.
I'm not afraid to say that. They did. They did make me. You know what I mean? They're the litmus, man. They're the guys that stamp it, man.
Yeah.
And and there's no other way to say it, but you gotta be stamped by them in order to fucking succeed in this shit. You could be on whatever label you want to be on. If you're not on there, you're not at the table. That's just how it is.
Yeah, I get it. I just think that the music needs to speak for itself, and the way I look at it is like, yeah, you could be on Bars Over BS, you can be on Copenhagen, you can be on DITCD, you could be on all this, but if your music isn't good, I am not buying it. You have to. I think we have to understand that too, right? Like because Bars puts out an album, just because Copenhagen puts out a vinyl, the ITCD, the Press Collective, all these people put something out, I'm gonna go check out the artist, absolutely. But if the artist isn't great, if I'm not interested in the artist, I'm not buying it. I'm not spending $70 CDA, and I'm sure in England it's probably even more expensive to get the fucking record, the CD, right? Like, no, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, I don't think it works that way. But yes, they did give you that. Hey, who is Action Figure? What is this artwork on here? Like, let me go check it out. Oh shit, I have to buy it.
Yeah, so I think Bars in Copenhagen kind of brings people to the dance. You know what I'm saying? And it's on you to you know
Yeah,
dance and pull a chick at the end of the night. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's
clothesline
not they're not
somebody.
gonna they're not gonna do it for you, but you still gotta they bring you to the dance, but that doesn't guarantee you instant success. But if you do good on that shit,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
That's how I feel.
yeah, for sure. You said on here, my life is like a money in the bank cash in, right? Or did I mess that one up too?
Nah, you got that right.
Okay. And that's a bar that stood out to me because my life is actually like a money in the bank cash in because I don't know when to take chances. Is that what it
Right.
meant?
Uh, a little bit, yeah, because I always take chances. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I always just feel like I don't know. I always just feel like the title shot is coming. You know what I mean? I always feel like the championship is coming. If it's not now, it's the next thing. If it's not this thing, it's gonna be the next two things. You know what I mean? So I always just look at it like, my life is like a money in the bank cash in. A lot of this stuff comes from out of nowhere. It's not like all like my successes and all the good things that come to me, it doesn't come to me just by chance. You know, it comes through with the work and I put in the work and I put in the work behind the scenes and even my team helps out and so
Yeah.
it feels like a well-oiled machine, you know what I mean? A little bit, but you
Uh,
know,
and before Craig got on, I said that there's a team behind all these
right, right,
projects.
right,
War Ready, Craig, you,
right.
the different producers that are on here. And Artificer
Mhm.
did an amazing job with the beats. And when I hear drums and you on drums,
Yeah.
that is just
Mhm.
wow. Like I remember when Machacha gave you drums, I was like, what the like gave you boom bap beats, right? And I know Craig likes old school hip hop, boom bap hip hop. That must have been something for you too, right? Hearing
Yeah.
him on
Yeah.
on beats like that. Um,
Mhm.
what's next for both of yous for 2026?
I got another album coming out right now. Not right now. In July with DiMaggio, producer named DiMaggio. We just put out a joint with SD, so it's me and SD.
Fuck.
Um, yeah, yeah. It called 87 Slammy Awards.
Did I miss that?
It should be out.
It's just on Bandcamp at the minute, so it's not
Yeah,
on
yeah,
DSPs, I don't think.
Oh yeah, it's true. Estenac puts everything on Bandcamp, and then I gotta look
yeah.
for it like a psychopath.
Yeah, it's on Sun Tzu. It's on Sun Tzu's YouTube too, and shit.
I'll
But
check that out.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And there's a video for it too with the WWF footage on there. Probably shouldn't have said that too. Yeah, it's on YouTube. There's a secret video out. You know what I mean? It's pretty dope, man. And that was DiMaggio too, because it's pretty ill. It's Jim Duggan versus King Harley Race.
That's
This
cool.
is-
I get
yeah,
it.
he got that. He did that one. The shout outs to him. Like he came with that one. But we got like it was gonna be an EP, and then it turned into an album. And we were gonna do five. It's called the Polo Grounds, but it was like a baseball themed type project because his name is DiMaggio, and so we did like a kind of a baseball themed project. But the Knack record is gonna be on there. I got a record with 067 Red and another one with brother Tom Sos from Griselda too that's coming on there. So pretty dope, yeah.
Ice cream bars, man.
Yeah.
Having him on there again, that brought something different to your project. Of
Right. Mhm,
that's crazy that he's gonna be on this project as well.
mhm.
Craig, what's next for you in terms of just your paintings, your imagery, and just making album covers?
Yeah, I think I've got about maybe 15 ready to come out. So just waiting for them to come out, basically. I've got about 3 or 4 reaction ready. Blue Whale Bill just come
Oh,
out
yeah.
now. So that's come out at midnight for you, but it's just come out a couple of hours ago for me.
Crazy how they get the music before us.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've done one for Wolverine and Rebel Sky. So I've got a couple waiting to come out, basically. So just waiting for people to drop them. I've got a few that I probably can't say, so I'll just say the ones that I can say for now.
That's awesome. Yeah, you guys keep being you. Keep putting out these amazing projects and amazing art because it makes a whole difference. And I know I've said that throughout the whole episode, but I think more and more people need to tell you guys because it does make an impact. Craig, since it's your first time on here, and I appreciate you for showing up at 2 a.m. your time. But we usually hey, the surprise worked. I'm happy.
Hell yeah.
I
thought that was your boy Craig. when I saw the Craig pop up, I was like, oh, his homie's here. And then when I turned and saw him, I was like, oh.
We spoke today. I was like, I've been so busy with the pop-up because we did the pop-up this past weekend that I forgot I had kids. I forgot I had a wife. I forgot that I had responsibilities that I'm just like, let me message him last minute and hope. I knew you were going to say yes because you're such a great guy. And it worked. And I'm happy because I just the team is here. But since it's your first time on here, we usually do like top 5 in 5 seconds. That never works. So I got a couple of questions for you.
Okay.
Your favorite album covers, top 5.
That I've done. Other people have done.
No, that's the next question, but good call. But your top 5 favorite album covers of all time that you haven't done.
De La Soul, the 3 Feet High and Rising one, Flatbush Zombies, 3001 Laced Odyssey, Organized Confusion, the Stress one. There's one by a jazz artist. I said it in a magazine. I can't remember the name of the jazz artist now. And it's got like a face on the front and a desert in it. I think it might be Miles Davis, maybe. I'm going to have to come back to you, but it's an amazing cover. I'm
going to check that out to see if...
It's got like a face on the front and then like a reverse face on the back. It's a really cool cover.
Bitches Brew, no.
That's the one, yeah. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Great album.
Yeah. But that I'd love to recreate that cover at some point. I think it's just brilliant. Have I said 4 or 5 there?
Yeah, you could go for another one.
Yeah. Probably Snoop Dogg, Doggy Style.
Awesome. And now yours, top 5 yours.
Oof, that's hard.
Fuck, I can tell you mine.
Probably Diamonds cover.
Oh, yeah.
Action figure on Wolverine one. Vega 7, the Ronin, and Ferris Blusa.
That was crazy.
Luchador Body Odor. It's hard because I've got a few favorites that's not even out yet, to be honest.
I can't wait.
Probably the Blue Hill Bill one, which is this one here. Wolverine alternative cover where he's throwing the device at the screen and he's got a joint in his mouth. I liked that one. I'm trying to think of another one. Possibly Conspiracy, where the 2 crackheads are fighting.
Yep, that was fun. Yeah. That was good. That was good.
It changes all the time with my own covers because, like, I've got personal favorites. Every time I do one for Action, I'm like, this is another favorite. It's so hard, but I've got a few that
I always say, like, my favorite Dyer cover is that fucking Heist Life cover, bro.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah. Forgot about it. Yeah.
Mine is Dark Side of the Ring too. Like I've been waiting for you guys to put that on a hoodie or a t-shirt for me. That one just recreated seeing that live, like watching it growing up, and then you guys put it together like that. I was just like, it just mind blowing. That's my favorite one for sure, 100%. And the last top 5 is your top 5 favorite artists that are not hip hop.
Not hip hop. That's hard. I listen to that much hip hop. That's really hard. I do like Arctic Monkeys, especially the early stuff. Amy Winehouse.
Amy, dope.
Don't we love our artists on drugs?
I do like now. I like Nirvana actually. Come to mention it as well. They're pretty cool. It's hard that. I listen to a lot of hip hop. Let me just think.
It's crazy because I thought you were more into like bands and more into like, because I find like, just the artistry of you and putting things together, like getting ideas from different areas and stuff like that.
Yeah, do you know, as I've got older and I've like appreciated where the originals come from a lot. And I have gone back and I do listen to a lot of music now, but I still listen to, I'd say my playlist is probably 90% hip hop.
That's crazy because I've turned like, to me, as I got older, it's less hip hop and more just bands.
Yeah,
it's
Prodigy.
crazy.
I really like Prodigy as well.
The Prodigy.
Yeah,
that's some crazy stuff. Yeah. Awesome. The singer. The singer, I think, passed away. Somebody in Prodigy passed away last year.
Well, Keith Flint. He were like he started as the dancer and then he did a couple of vocals with him as well. But he were like the dancer at first that just danced in the music videos, and then he did Breathe and Firestarter and
and Act. I'm not gonna forget about you, but I want to know your top 5 favorite Money in the Bank cash-ins.
I gotta say the Seth Rollins one because I was there for it. I fucking hate. I was so mad, but it was so good. I hated seeing the unreal of that. Probably the Edge one in Puerto Rico was pretty sick, especially because it was in Puerto Rico. Man, I'm trying to think who else was a good one. Randy with the when they started the powers that be, was it that they? That they were no.
The Authority.
The Authority was good for business. That shit.
Yeah.
That was when Triple H fucking they turned on Daniel.
I love that because I despise Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who else was a good one. CM Punk was a good one when he did it.
Jeff Hardy.
There you go. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm trying to think who else was a good one. Yeah, I don't got a good last one.
I just wish Mr. Kennedy didn't get injured and was given that opportunity to cash in because he's just
So I got a funny like Mr. Kennedy story, right? Maybe you'll appreciate this. So I used to like co-own a studio back in the day, right? And it was on and we had a bum in our studio that would just would use like the restroom, wash up, everything. So we gave him a nickname, and one of the time one of the homies saw him on Kennedy Boulevard. So we named him Kennedy. So every time I saw him, I would go, Kennedy.
Amazing. Guys, before we get up out of here, because I know Craig wants to go sleep. Anything you guys want to add?
Just thanks for having me on.
I'm performing in the UK May 8th, and I get to meet this man.
Yeah.
And you'll know if he's a great hugger.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Boys, honestly, I appreciate you guys coming through. Thank you for giving me the time of day. I know it's been difficult the last couple of weeks, but just you guys being here means a lot to me. Keep making amazing music. Keep making great art. I think it is very important, just not only in hip hop or underground hip hop, but in music. I think it's super important to get that full package and have the art, the music, just everything together. Just makes a whole package and makes it more interesting for people to invest $70, $80, $100. Like we collect, all three of us collect. We're all collectors of something. And when you get that piece in the mail, you're like, wow, this is how it really looks. This is amazing. And you guys make a difference. So thank you, both of you, for your contribution to music. 100%. And yes, rest in peace, War Ready. Condolences to him and his family and his friends. These guys, these two here, will make you proud 110%. And thank you for everything that you've contributed to the sound, to engineering, and just music in general. That's it. I appreciate you both. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please press that like and subscribe button. We give you nothing but the best in hip-hop reviews, and we are the Rap ESPN. Action figure, Craig Dyer, we are out.
Thank you.
Peace.